Lesson 15 homework in Module 3 is to solve multi-step word problems. And we're going to use tape diagrams to do it. And we're going to use fractions, and we're going to assess the reasonableness of our answer using benchmark fractions. Number 2, a boxer needs to lose 3.5 kilograms in a month. In 3 weeks, he lowers his weight from 55.5 to 53.8. How many kilograms must the boxer lose in the final week to be able to compete? So, the first thing we got to do is a piece of tape that is 55.5. Notice how I changed 55.5 to a mixed number. 0.5 equals a half. So this first piece of tape is 55.5. I want fractions, not decimals. Now that's a little bit bigger than 53.8. Now I wouldn't do 53.8. I'm going to do 53 8/10, because 0.8 is equal to 8/10. And what I'm trying to figure out right now is this. Trying to figure out what this little piece is right here. Trying to figure out how much more 55 1/2 is than 53 8/10. So how much more means subtract. So I'm going to do 55 1/2 minus 53 8/10. Hopefully the kids notice that they need a common denominator to do this. And half of 10 is 5. Half of 10 is 5. So if I want the common denominator to be 10, I'm going to change that to 5/10, and I'm going to leave the 8/10 alone because it's already in tenths. Hopefully the kids realize that now you must borrow, because you can't do 5/10 minus 8/10. So I got to borrow a whole from here and make this 54, and I got to add 10 to here. Okay, so then when I do my borrowing, this becomes 54 15/10 minus 53 8/10. 54 minus 53 is 1, and 15/10 minus 8/10 is 7/10. So I've now figured out what this is. But I am not done with the problem, because the problem said that the boxer needed to lose 3.5 pounds. He's not there yet. How much more does he need to get to that 3.5 pounds? My second step of the problem is I have to do 3 1/2 minus 1 7/10. Okay? Common denominator is 10 if you count by 2's and you count by 10's. So this becomes 3 5/10, because half of 10 is 5, minus 1 7/10. Uh-oh, we got to borrow again. Borrow from this 3 and make it a 2. 5/10 becomes 15/10, because I add a whole to it. And now I can do the borrowing. I get 2 minus 1 is 1. 15 minus 7 is 8. And my answer is 1 8/10. And that's how much more he'll need to lose.